my name is Ashley Zachary. I'm from A to the Z Show, as you already know. This is, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Crystal Dawn, a USC student, filmmaker. Just out here trying to make it.
Absolutely. Okay, Crystal, she wrote and directed them. And these are her ideas that we crafted together for her short film at our school. So tell us a little bit about that.
My school was asking me for a quarantine film for a competition that was like solidly inside of USC. And I hadn't come up with an ideal for most of the quarantine, but then right at the end, I was thinking like what if a person's in quarantine, they just start to deteriorate because, quarantine fatigue is a thing. So I just started kind of like brainstorming, and I didn't really write a script. I just started drawing out like storyboards.
So I think I heard about the idea on Saturday. We shot it on Sunday, but it was due Wednesday. Yeah, it came really fast. So on Sunday when we started getting everything going, walk me through your process of what inspired you about the piece exactly for the way it crafted out,
I mean, I thought it would be a really interesting and strange thing to try to write a story that involved one character in one location where we didn't use any dialogue. And I knew it would take some strong acting, obviously, which is why I called you. And also to have it done without a script was a real challenge because we didn't have any words, and I'm used to writing scripts of words, so I've never written a script without any words. So I just kind of tried to go off storyboards, which is kind of difficult to express my ideals, but it was an interesting journey.
Yes, and I think because we have a rapport, I understand how you work now, so it's a really, for me on set, it was a really beautiful thing because we went through the whole storyboard, but we also had the things that we were breaking down. So I like that you tossed me an adjective and it was like, this is where the person is at in this state of mind. And I was able to, rise to the occasion, not trying to toot my own horn or anything to that nature. Not at all. Absolutely. Do you have a particular piece, like what movie have you seen where you were inspired by this?
I was definitely inspired by not a whole entire movie, but maybe parts of movies. Like definitely Jordan Peele, Get Out, The Sunken Place, because I think that's like very much when you're isolated and you're having a psychological breakdown, it can feel like you're sinking. So I know I wanted to give that sensation without actually stealing from his craft, but kind of stealing the energy from what he had put in that film at that point. And then also Misery. I'd watched Misery, and it kind of gave me the ideal of being trapped and how it would feel to be trapped in a situation. Even though in this film, you weren't actually trapped by a person, you were trapped by an event or a circumstance. But like how it might feel to be trapped, where you couldn't get away.
And it's funny that you mentioned Get Out and Misery, because that chopping scene for me was bananas. The build up on it reminded me of when she broke his ankles in Misery and when that lady hit that teacup. So those moments, it kind of give me the jitters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have another question. What barriers, as a sound designer, did you have to overcome, considering I am team Final Cut Pro and you are team?
I'm definitely team Avid, team Premiere Pro. So yeah.
Let's go through the process of that day, because we was down to a clock. We had stayed up to 3:30 on Wednesday morning, and we had until 9 p.m. Wednesday night to get it in. The editing was done. We tightened up everything, but it was the sound that the world of the sound that we had to build. And I'm Final Cut Pro, and Miss Avid over there hey, you was like, we still got to get this done. And waking up at whatever time we woke up, but at 1 o'clock, the time had started because we was like, we have 7 hours. And what happened? What was some of the barriers we were facing?
I mean, just to explain for people that don't edit or just the average person, trying to communicate between a program like Pro Tools, which actually sound designs, and being able to put like the noises behind walls in other apartments to add to the world or outside the door because the person was trapped in the apartment is like essentially trying to use Android and iPhone to combine those. And those two programs don't communicate. So it was definitely a difficult journey trying to figure out how um, to do that. And what I ended up having to do was build it from scratch, which was crazy because I didn't have the timing in the film. I kind of had to just for memorization. I had to figure out like at what point do the noises sound louder, and when she puts her cup to the wall, at what point should that noise get louder, and kind of try to build that from scratch without actually be able to see the film as I do it.
And let's give Jesse Felbert a shout out because he was like, "You can do everything in Final Cut Pro." Now I'm a hardcore editor. I get out here and I edit, but sound design is a whole beautiful thing that I haven't even touched. So for me, I was like, well, I don't know. So we called Jesse. Jesse was able to come through because Chris was like, "Oh yeah, we just need to buy this thing for $100." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then Jesse was like, "No, you don't need to buy anything. You could just do everything in such and such." And we had the XML file, and then we were able to combine them. Like, what was that process like? Because then we came.
It's really interesting because Jesse was very helpful, amazing sound editor because he was able to. I'm not by nature. I'm more of a director, so sound editing is something I'm just getting into, and he was able to actually use plugins and sound edit it without even listening to it. And I'm the type of person where I'm so new to it. I'm like, no, I need to hear everything. He's like, no, just put this right here. And as soon as I listened to it, it was kind of crisp. But I think it was helpful having somebody that already understood the sound editing capabilities within Final Cut. So that made it a little bit easier. And they're very similar programs, but I was excited to learn what the other program could do outside of Pro Tools.
Absolutely. And it was really crazy because we came down to literally 1 hour and we was still sharpening up a little bit of everything. We at 8:10 I said, you know what, we have to stop with sound and we have to put everything in. And we was down to the last minute, which was making, I was sweating, you were sweating, like, yes, we definitely had to send it 2 ways. We transfer and through your email just to ensure that we got it there on time. And I guess the last final question from me to you is, with a short film competition like this, would you do it again? And what would you do different because of the issues that came up with us that arose?
I mean, it was a really enjoyable experience. I think that out of the range of the films, we really killed it. We obviously were in the top of the films. Probably what I would do different is I would give myself a little bit more time. I made a decision to actually shoot the film very late, and that kind of put everybody in a crunch. And sometimes like things arise out of us in that crunch that was amazing, but at the same time, I stand back and I say, hey, with more time, this could have been even bigger, So yeah. I think I would have just allowed myself more time, definitely more time with my actor to develop the escalation. To do a silent escalation is a lot, so I would probably spend a little more time.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate this, Chris Dawn from USC, from Detroit, Michigan. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the interview. I really appreciate it, more than you know. And if you haven't seen them, go watch it on my YouTube. The link will be in the description. Thank you. Bye.